S.S.S. Kedoshim, Tovshin Tes. We welcome everybody back to our first year back here at Bitul Cholim of Lakewood after Pesach, Tovshin Tes. And we're really excited to be here going into our spring and summer season of year number 10 of the Nesivos Shalom share on the Parsha. And this year, as we know, since it was a leap year, we get a chance to speak about Parshas Acharei, which was last week. And now this week we speak about Parshas Kedoshim. And Nesivos Shalom brings from the Sefer Shomer Amunim HaKadmai a very interesting piece of advice for people. And he says that one who wants to do Avodas Hashem in the optimal manner, he wants to do it the highest caliber of Avodas Hashem, you must keep two things in mind. Two psukim in the Torah, you keep those in mind and you'll be on your way, well on your way to doing an extremely high level of Avodas Hashem. And the first pasuk that he brings down is the Osisa Hayoshar v'hatoiv be'enei Hashem. That's the first pasuk that's brought down. You want to do Avodas Hashem, keep that pasuk on your mind. V'osisa hayoshar v'hatoiv be'enei Hashem. And the second pasuk is our pasuk, a pasuk at the beginning of this week's parsha. The pasuk of Kedoshim Tihiyu. That's the second pasuk that a person needs to keep in mind to have the highest level of Avodas Hashem. What does the Nesivos Shalom mean? What does the Sefer Shomer Amunim HaKadmai mean? And we know that the Torah has positive commandments, and the Torah also has Isurim, both mitzvahs aseh and mitzvahs lo aseh. And these mitzvahs aseh and lo aseh are either bein adam lamokim, they are either between a person and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, or some of the other mitzvahs are bein adam lachaveroi, between a man and his fellow man. And all of these mitzvahs, we know, are equally incumbent upon everyone. When there's a mitzvah in the Torah, unless you have a special exception, the mitzvahs in the Torah apply to everybody, to each and every person. But, says the Nesivos Shalom, aside from the mitzvahs lo aseh, the mitzvahs aseh, bein adam lamokim, bein adam lachaveroi, aside from that, there's another thing that every Jew has to know. And that's the first pasuk that we brought down. That's the lifnim mishuras hadin, going above and beyond the law, beyond the regular set of rules. The lifnim mishuras hadin of V'asisa yashar b'hatoiv be'enei Hashem. That in every action, in every deed, in everything that a person does, we need to contemplate, besides whether we're doing the mitzvah right, besides whether we're acting correctly or nicely or right to our fellow man, besides all of that, a person needs to contemplate whether this action that I'm doing is something that Hashem would be satisfied with me that I am doing. Besides the letter of the law, there is also the spirit of the law. Let's go beyond the actual factual rules. Would Hashem be happy? Would Hashem be satisfied with what I am doing right now? And Sabakadisha Mislanim, Zechus Yagan Aleinu, brought down also here and the Nesivos Shalom says a beautiful thought on this from the psukim from a couple of weeks ago in Parsha Shemini. You know, in Parsha Shemini, Aaron HaKohen says the following: "Ve'ochalti chatos hayoim, I ate the korban, the chatos hayitav be'enei Hashem." That was pleasing to Hashem. And the next pasuk tells us, "Vayishma Moshe." Moshe heard this. Vayitav be'enav. It looked like a good thing. It satisfied Moshe in his eyes. That Moshe Rabbeinu, the Sabakadisha Mislanim tells us that when it says by Moshe, Vayitav be'enav, when he saw that Aaron wanted to know, that Aaron HaKohen was doing something new over here. Moshe Rabbeinu learned the new derech and avodas Hashem from Aaron HaKohen, and that's why Vayitav Be'enov. It satisfied, it pleased Moshe Rabbeinu, because Aaron HaKohen did not ask over here. Aaron HaKohen didn't ask, Ki Torah or Sisi? Did I do like the Torah? Kahalacha or Sisi? Did I do like the halacha? Aaron HaKohen didn't ask any of that. You know what Aaron HaKohen wanted to do? You know what Aaron HaKohen wanted to know? He wanted to know, Hayitav Be'enei Hashem. Yes, I followed all the rules, and I did everything that I was supposed to, but Aaron HaKohen wanted to know, after all of that, Hayitav Be'enei Hashem. Did I make Hashem happy? Did I make a Kiddush Hashem? Did I satisfy HaKadosh Baruch Hu with this deed? Aaron HaKohen was weighing his actions to see if they are pleasing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Pasuk tells us, Vayishma Moshe Rabbeinu heard this, that Aaron HaKohen was doing a new derech and avodas Hashem, not just the laws. I want to know if Hashem is happy with what I'm doing. Vayitav Be'enov. Moshe Rabbeinu was very happy with this new way in avodas Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu approved of this derech. And the same can be said of the second part of avodas Hashem, of Kedoshim Tiyu in our parsha. With every action, a person needs to ask themselves, am I coming closer to Hashem? Am I bringing myself closer? This thing that I consider a mitzvah, this thing that I'm so sure it's a mitzvah, I'm so sure that I'm being a kanoi and I'm making a macha and I'm doing it l'shem. Are you really doing it l'shem shamayim? Is it really bringing you closer to a Kadosh Baruch Hu? And it's for that reason, says the Nesivos Shalom, that the Torah tells us in our parsha, Kedoshim Tiyu. And it doesn't continue after that. The Torah does not give us the specifics and the parameters of Kedoshim Tiyu. Doesn't tell us how to be Mekayim this mitzvah. By other mitzvahs, unlike by other mitzvahs, the Torah gives us instruction. The Torah tells us the derech and the way to be Mekayim the mitzvah. Here, by Kedoshim Tiyu, it says Kedoshim Tiyu, and then it's left open for interpretation for each and every specific case. Kedoshim Tiyu is different because Kedoshim Tiyu, like the Pasuk says, it says, Daber el kol adas b'nei Yisrael. I'm speaking to each and every person. Each person is on their own level. Each person has a different capability and a different responsibility of Kedoshim Tiyu. Each person has their things that they're supposed to weigh every one of their actions to see if what they are doing brings you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about anyone else. Of course, Kol Yisrael, Arevim Zelazeh, all within the right time and the right way. But first and foremost, Kedoshim Tiyu, see if your actions are bringing you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because as we said many times, the whole point of the whole Torah is to create more Devekis B'Hashem. Each mitzvah, each thing that you do is supposed to bring you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to make you more Davut to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Torah speaks about this Kedusha many times. We ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kadshenu b'mitzvaysecha. We say in the Shemon Esrei, Kadshenu b'mitzvaysecha, that we want that our mitzvahs should make a Kiddush Hashem. Our mitzvahs should make us holy. Our mitzvahs should bring us closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Every mitzvah that we do should connect one and bring you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we see at the end of last week's Parsha, and in last week's Parsha, Parshas Acharei, the Torah gives us many Isurim. It tells us many loisaseh, tells us many things that are asur. And we see that the Torah continues, right at the beginning of our Parsha this week, the Torah tells us Kedoshim Tiyu. But what do you mean? We just got finished saying everything that's asur. What's Kedoshim Tiyu? It says in Nesivos Shalom, Kedoshim Tiyu comes after all the Isurim of last week's Parsha to tell us that a Jew does things differently even when they're mutter. Just because something is mutter, a Jew acts different, a Jew walks different, eats different, behaves differently. Everything's totally mutter, but we have our own way of elevating ourselves through our regular, everyday actions, things that are mutter. The Isurim were already said in last week's Parsha, but Kedoshim tells you with every action that we do, every mitzvah, every deed, that it should bring you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And a person should not think that they cannot, a person shouldn't think, I can't do it. I'm not on the Madrega. The Pasuk tells us, Daber El Kol Adas B'nei Yisrael. Everybody has the capability to do this. Everyone has their opportunities to show that we are different. We're different than the nations of the world. A goy has no shaykhs to Kedusha, no shaykhs to getting closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We can work on our actions. A goy has dry laws. Yes? No. Mutter, usser. You can do it, you can't do it. A yid has, even within things that are mutter, we could do it differently. We could do our actions to make us, that brings us closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everything that we do can and should be improved. And that's what Hashem wants to see. Hashem wants to see that, especially now during the days of Sfiras HaOmer. Hashem wants to see, take your act and brush it up a little bit. The Pasuk tells us, U'sfartem lochem imocharas haShabbos, that we start counting Sfira, right, from Pesach all the way to Shavuos. U'sefartem says in Nesivos Shalom, U'sefartem is from a lashon of sapir v'yahalom, like a sapphire and a diamond. U'sefartem. Take yourself and shine it up a little bit, like a diamond. You don't necessarily have to start. You begin with all these big kabbalas and big things you want to do. Most of the time, we know what happens to those. U'sefartem lachem. Take the little things in your life, make them shine. U'sefartem, like a sapphire. Kisapir v'yahalom. Take all those things and just shine them up a little bit each day. See if you can grow a little bit each day as we take steps every day of the Sfira all the way to Kabbalah HaTorah. The Asisa HaToy ve'Hayashar Lifnim Mishuras Hadin. A little extra. Are we making HaKadosh Baruch Hu happy? And Kedoshim to you. Are we, as Jews, are we coming closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? And these are the two keys to Avodas Hashem, to take small steps, to take steps and shine it up a little bit. Understand that even the way we do things that are mutter, Isurim is one thing. Mitzvahs asay, mitzvahs lo asay, you have your rules. But to understand that within those rules, we have ways of making ourselves closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're about 4 weeks into Sfiras HaOmer. We're about 3 weeks in, 4 weeks left to Sfiras HaOmer. We have to understand that each day, take a small step. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu asks of us. Small steps. You keep taking small steps, you end up going very far. And that is the lesson of Kedoshim to you, of our Parsha, the extra special Kedusha and coming close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that each Jew can do.